I'm going to tell you a little spooky story about Giuseppe Verdi. So he had written an opera called Alzira, which had its premiere in Naples in 1845. It's never performed nowadays, but it was a total flop at the time. So Verdi just kind of chalked this up to bad luck, but apparently the people of Naples were really superstitious and they're like, no, you've been cursed. Anyway, that was that. But then 4 years later, Verdi came back to Naples because he'd completed Luisa Miller, his next opera. Apparently the orchestra had not forgotten the curse from 4 years before and just would not concentrate in rehearsal. But weirder than that, Verdi was at his hotel room and he noticed there was this like small group of men who'd kind of congregated outside his door, and then he left and they started following him. After a while of this, of being really closely shadowed by this group of men, he finally kind of clocked who they were, and they were a group of people from Naples, Neapolitan people, who were actually really big supporters of his work, and they really had liked Alzira. So of course then he confronted them and was like, hey guys, like, what is this? What's going on? And it turns out that they were trying to protect him from any supernatural forces. Specifically, they were saying that he had had the evil eye put upon him by a rival composer called Vincenzo Capitolatro. And Verdi was like, actually, no, Capitolatro and we're mates. Like, that's not a thing. The Neapolitans did not care, and they said under no circumstances were Capitolatro and Verdi to meet before the premiere of Luisa Miller. So it's the night of the performance, and the first 2 acts have gone down so well with the audience. Everyone absolutely loves this opera. But after the second act was the interval, and Verdi was up on the stage talking to the singers when all of a sudden he felt these arms being wrapped around him and he was receiving a hug from Capitolatro. And you'll never fucking guess what happened. There was like above them, some lighting or something came unstuck and like dropped, and they could kind of hear it, and Verdi like jumped out of the way and it landed like right where he was. Like, the dude could have died. This is like a weird, horrible coincidence, but basically that left the whole cast, you know, especially the singers, pretty like distracted and distraught for the rest of the opera, and they weren't performing so well. And then the audience also said that the finale was really underwhelming. So there you go. Maybe the curse did happen after all.